18.5 Jealousy and Insecurity. Jealousy is a dragon which slays love under the pretense of keeping it alive. Havelock Ellis. For a long time, I told myself I didn't really experience jealousy. Not in any significant way. Compersion came naturally with my husband, and when he connected with others, I genuinely felt joy in his joy. Our relationship is deeply secure, and that security makes it surprisingly easy to celebrate his connections. That feeling is still one of the most beautiful parts of open relating for me. But this past year humbled me. As I developed more serious and ongoing relationships outside my marriage, jealousy and insecurity started to appear in places I didn't expect. Not with my husband, but with other partners, especially when they connected with people who identified as my gender. At a play party in August, I found myself in a room with 4 male lovers. With one, someone I'd been seeing for several months, I felt a flash of jealousy so sharp it almost startled me. With others, it wasn't jealousy exactly, more like creeping insecurity. I wondered whether I was special, or if I was just one more option on a long list. I caught myself comparing, ranking, trying to determine whether I still mattered in the way that I thought I did. Jealousy has a way of collapsing you back into younger versions of yourself. As I sat with the feelings later, I realized I'd been emotionally transported back to middle school, where I felt like the geeky, overlooked kid with acne who never got picked for teams or invited into the inner circle. The adult version of me was at a play party. The younger version of me was waiting to see whether anyone would notice I was still in the room. That's one of the cruelest tricks jealousy plays. It resurrects your oldest injuries and dresses them up as current events. Exercise. Acknowledge your feelings. When jealousy or insecurity shows up, the first step is to simply name it, even if it's only to yourself at first, to understand its origin. Ask, where did this feeling come from? Am I comparing myself to someone else? Am I hoping my partner will fix something I'm actually carrying from years ago? Am I looking for affirmation or validation instead of communicating what I need? If you can trace the feelings back to its earliest version, the moment you first felt unwanted, overlooked, or replaced, you can start offering compassion to that younger self instead of treating your current partner as the villain in a story they didn't write. Those younger feelings are real. They just don't get to run your life anymore. The individual responsibility of processing emotions. One of the biggest shifts in my own journey was realizing that my jealousy and insecurities are not my partner's job to fix, especially in the moment. That doesn't mean my feelings don't matter. It means they're mine to own first. A common relational fuck-up is making our partner responsible for our internal storms. We feel jealous or insecure and immediately expect them to do something about it. Reassure us, change their behavior, cancel the date, prove we matter, read our minds, stop doing whatever triggered us. But jealousy is an inside job. Your partner can support you, listen to you, and show up with care, but they cannot heal what you refuse to admit you're holding. Fuck up. Yucking their yum. Aaron was at a festival with his partner, Yessie, when his insecurities took over. He felt himself getting more and more dysregulated as he watched her flirt on the dance floor with others. Instead of noticing his rising anxiety and attending to it, he started silently comparing himself to everyone who caught her eye. When she began a particularly flirty dance with Eric, a new potential interest, Aaron snapped. He walked over and pulled her out of the moment, shutting down the interaction in a way that left everyone feeling awkward. In an instant, he yanked her out of her joy to soothe his own fear. This move, what I call yucking her yum, didn't resolve his jealousy. It just layered shame and resentment on top of it. This manipulation not only disrupted Yessie's joy, but also highlighted Aaron's failure to do his own emotional work, and he tried to outsource it to her nervous system. Jealousy handled this way doesn't bring anyone closer. It just teaches your partner that their happiness isn't safe around you. A more responsible approach is to find healthy outlets. Talk to a trusted friend, journal, move your body, or work with a therapist. Once you've regulated yourself, then you can revisit the situation with your partner from a place of curiosity instead of panic, which brings us back to be curious and communicate. When jealousy strikes in the moment, remember, managing those feelings is your responsibility, not theirs. Timing of jealousy. Jealousy shows up in different phases. Understanding when it hits you can help you to work with it more effectively. Before the act. Anticipatory jealousy. This is the story writing phase, when your partner mentions a date and your brain immediately crafts a tragic novel. You imagine them falling in love, discovering you're boring, leaving you for someone who bakes sourdough and does yoga at sunrise. By the time they actually go, you're already grieving a loss that hasn't happened yet. This kind of jealousy is fueled by fear and imagination rather than evidence. During the act, in the moment jealousy. This is when you're watching your partner connect with someone else, laughing, touching, flirting, and you feel that hot sting of comparison. Why are they laughing at him like that? Why aren't they playful like that with me? Why do they see them in the way that I don't have? My friend Dean said, I find I'm more jealous as I see a lover engage with others, especially if I watch my lover experience an orgasm with someone else. I replay my missteps and drive myself nuts. That's an incredibly honest reflection, and it speaks directly to how intense in-the-moment jealousy can be. Dean even shared a story about a onesie that became a jealousy relic. His lover had shared a meaningful moment with someone else while wearing one of his favorite pieces of clothing, and he found himself spiraling so hard he eventually mailed the onesie, doused in his cologne, to his lover, as a way of releasing his attachment and reclaiming his sanity. It was dramatic. It was funny. It was also real emotional work. He even engaged with the man who had shared the moment with his lover, finding humor and connection in the experience, which is a powerful step in navigating jealousy healthily. After the act, reflective jealousy. This shows up as obsessive replaying, going over what happened, what was said, who they touched, where they went. Left unspoken, reflective jealousy becomes a quiet grudge. Your partner comes home happy and relaxed. You greet them with coldness or distance, punishing them for a betrayal that, in many cases, took place mostly in your imagination. You might replay events in your mind, questioning why your partner chose to connect with someone else and doubting your own desirability. This form of jealousy can leave you feeling inadequate or resentful as you fixate on perceived shortcomings or how you were wronged in some way. The common thread across all three phases is this: if you never say what's happening inside you, jealousy becomes a secret you hold against your partner. You're cold and distant. You're sulking over a fantasy they weren't even aware of. Exercise. Speak your fears. The goal isn't to banish jealousy, it's to give it air, give it a voice before it festers. Try this framework the next time jealousy hits. 1. When X happened, name the event or moment, a date, a scene, a flirtation. 2. The story I made up about it was, be honest, that you enjoyed them more than me, that I'm being replaced, that I don't matter. 3. I decided X about myself, that I'm less desirable, less interesting, not enough. 4. And now I'm collecting evidence to prove that story to be true. 5. I recognize that I'm responsible for my own feelings of jealousy, insecurity, unworthiness, name it without blame. 6. Going forward, I'm committed to shifting my interpretation, tending to my insecurities, asking for support rather than control. And 7. To help me with this, I ask you to be specific, reinforce my place in your life, send a check-in text, offer reassurance in a way that feels nourishing, not obligatory. This kind of vulnerability is scary, but without it, your jealousy stays stuck in your body and your behavior. When you bring it to the open with care, you give both of you a chance to work with reality instead of silently wrestling ghosts. Jealousy isn't proof that you're broken or that your relationship is flawed. It's just signal, a flare from somewhere inside you that says, something here needs attention. If you're willing to listen, name it, and work through it with compassion, jealousy can be less of a dragon and more of a teacher. We can transform jealousy from a destructive force into an opportunity for deeper understanding and connection.